Throughout my life, I have played Pajama Sam in There's No Need to Hide When It's Dark Outside multiple times. After numerous playthroughs and speedruns, even holding the world record for some time, I finally decided to make a video strictly about the game. When Pajama Sam was released, it sold more than 3 million copies and was very well received with 9s all across the board and over 50 awards obtained. With the game having come out in 1996 and being released on platforms like Steam and even the Nintendo Wii, many people have played the first installment of Pajama Sam and grew up with this game, or some of the other many humongous entertainment titles. The plot of this game's story is super charming. After staying up late reading his favorite superhero comic Pajama Man, Sam's mother tells him it's time to shut off the lights and go to bed. Sam, being the comic book consumer that he is, tells his mom he's ready before she bids him goodnight. But once darkness consumes his room, even his nightlight can't protect him. Sam decides it's time to be just like his favorite superhero by capturing darkness and keeping him in his signature edition all-metal Pajama Man lunchbox. After finding his mask, flashlight, and lunchbox, he's ready to face darkness in his closet. Unfortunately for Sam, his imagination takes hold as he falls headfirst into the land of darkness.
Hello? Is anybody in here? Darkness? Hello? Whoa! Ow! Yeah! Ta-da!
The game resonates with so many kids because of the relatable simplicity of the plot. I feel like everyone must have been scared of the dark at one time or another, and if you play this game as a kid, it's bound to stick with you. So we're inside the land of darkness, which is half Sam's imagination and half of his closet. Examining the scenery, we can see that Sam is a baseball fan and a messy kid when it comes to his laundry. The amount of detail in this game is absolutely crazy. Every screen breathes life, and you can click on nearly everything you see. Safe to say there is no shortage of tomfoolery to be found upon clicking what appear to be background objects. However, it is common for humongous entertainment games to do this. Keep in mind, Putt Putt and Freddy Fish were already established characters when Pajama Sam was released, so Humongous Entertainment had already adopted their own style of writing, which made their point-and-click games stand out from the rest. Once we start exploring the land of darkness, Sam then comes across some trees which prompt him with a customs inspection in his own closet.
Whoa!
Customs inspection!
I guess the game had to have some more conflict. If you could just walk right up to Darkness's house, the game would be over pretty quickly. So before facing Darkness, Sam has to track down his mask, lunchbox, and flashlight. That way, Sam will have at least a fighting chance against the frightening embodiment of childhood fear. Luckily, this here blue tree lets us borrow her rope that she used to trap us. That's nice, I guess. So this right here is the central hub of the land of darkness. We can go to the mines, the docks, and Darkness's house. I usually like going to the mines on my first playthrough to talk to my favorite character, King the Minecart. Unfortunately for him, his wheels are rusted to the track, and the once free-moving minecart is now stuck to one spot, having to live a life of boredom and pigeons.
Gee, that's too bad.
Yeah, especially in summer when the pigeons come down here for some shade.
Next is Otto. He lives at the docks and is deeply, troubled. Okay, so many of you don't know this, but when I was actually in school, I was in the highest level woodshop class, dubbed
Wood 3.
Using my woodshop knowledge, I can confirm that wood does indeed float, and our friend Otto doesn't have to worry about anything. But being the stubborn boat that he is, Otto just doesn't seem to believe us.
Are you sure you won't give me a lift?
No, I can't go in the water or I'll sink.
But I'm telling you, wood floats.
Oh, I wish I could believe you.
Moving over to Darkness's house, we find a very inconvenient method of travel to get inside. Darkness has all the essentials: a kitchen with singing household appliances, a living room with dancing furniture, and a set of trees that also share a role as game show hosts. The questions range anywhere from simple geography to colorizing different fruits to asking about world leaders. This question in particular asks us what the number on the water meter is inside the mines. If you haven't discovered the water meter yet, the game doesn't even allow you to guess the number. So we've officially reached an impasse. Otto won't give us a ride across the river because of his fear of sinking. King doesn't even have the option of traveling through the mines because of his, problem. And we can't pass these doors because we don't have the water meter number. So now we have to start solving some puzzles, and this is where the majority of the gameplay truly starts. Using the rope that the nice tree used to trap us, we can get a convenient piece of wood just outside the entrance, and with a little persuasion, Sam is able to convince Otto that wood floats.
Check this out. It's wood, right?
Yes.
Alright, now watch. See? It floats. Wood floats.
I'm doing it. I'm floating. Yahoo!
Now we can progress. First, Otto has some educational information to tell us.
A geyser. It's kind of a hot spring that spurts up water and steam every so often. It works kind of like a coffee percolator. Water in passages deep down where the rocks are hot gets heated up to the point where it would normally turn into steam. Except it doesn't because of the pressure of all the other water on top of it. So it gets really hot and it expands and it pushes some of the colder water out of the top.
Exploring across the river, we meet a set of even more awful trees. What's with this game and trees? Sam is nothing but a gentleman here. Look, he even bows and everything. Well, clearly the trees in this game aren't very bright. Using a wooden log just outside this path, we are able to trick the trees into letting us pass. Take that, trees. On the other side, we see both Sam's lunchbox and his mask. But of course, you can't just walk over and pick up the lunchbox. It's blocked off by these huge vines. And the mask is on this here, very political carrot.
Anyway, I need the mask to protect my identity as the leader of the Salad Liberation Front.
The what?
The Salad Liberation Front.
Further down the river, we meet up with this bridge who serves as security for the other side. As a kid, finding out what was past this bridge always had me pretty intrigued, but we'll talk more about that later, or at least once we manage to find an entire pound of gold.
Hi, I'm Sam. I'd like to cross the bridge to see what's on the other side.
Don't try to butter me up. If you want to go across, you'll have to pay a toll.
How much is the toll?
1 pound of gold.
After finding an oil can, Sam and Otto find themselves down at the bottom of a waterfall. I'm sure this mysterious water stream will definitely have something on the other side, but the thing about these games is there's a lot of backtracking, mainly obtaining items to access new areas. Once King is free of his issue, we can finally ride him around freely throughout the mines. For many people, the mines were their favorite area. It's huge, has branching pathways, entire minigames that can be played, pounds of gold, and finally, the beloved water meter number. As we head back up to Darkness's house, we can finally finish the brain tickler and check out the other side. Being a Pajama Sam veteran myself, I know that to cross the water stream with Otto, we need these oars inside the room with the instruments and the singing head. Once we get those, we can head back to Otto, but of course we have some unfinished business left inside the house. The potion room is another optional area. If you haven't turned over the carrot to the fridge, he'll actually comment on some of the side effects from the potions.
Hey, be careful. I'm trying to work on the SLF Statement of Principles and it's getting all wet.
Sorry.
Once the carrot is turned over to the fridge, they exchange in song.
Put that rogue inside my drawer. Oh no, our orange leader was caught.
Our fight for our freedom for us. We are diminished.
Completely finished.
Hey guys, don't you see he's with me and you're free to go.
Free!
Yes, free.
Free!
Uh-huh.
Really free!
Free, free,
Free,
yeah,
free,
yeah,
free,
sure.
free,
Whoopee!
free.
All right.
Finally, the mask is back in our grips. Now all we need to do is get the lunchbox and the flashlight, which can both be found on the docks. Using the doorknob we got in Darkness's house, hope he doesn't need that. We can attach it to this fishing outpost alongside a little oil. Inside, we discover Sam's flashlight up on the top shelf. Now that we have both the mask and the flashlight, all that's left is the signature edition all-metal Pajama Man lunchbox. Using the paddles we got earlier, we can finally climb the water stream and ride the bucket up.
My lunchbox!
Why call it that when you can't eat it?
I beg your pardon?
Well, it seems very silly to call it a lunchbox when you wouldn't dream of having it for lunch.
But your lunch goes in it.
Your lunch goes in you, does it not? Perhaps you would like me to call you Lunchbox as well.
I'm not a box.
Ah, too true.
Why is everyone such a jerk in this game? Finally, we have attained every item we need, the mask, the flashlight, and the lunchbox. Now it's time to face darkness. Well, almost. Throughout the playthrough, Sam finds many of his lost socks, 10 pairs to be exact. That means there are a total of 20 scattered throughout the entire game. Depending on your playthrough, the socks can actually change locations, and yes, you can do different playthroughs. The one I'm doing is more focused on completing the dock area, but in other playthroughs, extra rooms are added to the mines, and giving the gold to the bridge is a requirement. Speaking of giving the gold to the bridge, on the playthrough I did, it wasn't mandatory. All that was on the other side was a toaster that you can play cheese and crackers with, and depending on if you play with him or not, it can actually affect the outcome of the voice lines at the end of the game. Whoa, okay, I went a bit off topic there. What I was trying to talk about were the socks in the game. As a kid, I don't think I ever got all of them. If you missed the one in Sam's room, you have to restart to get it, and if you don't have all the ones you need going in the Darkness's room, you can't back out. That is, unless you save and load your game, but back in the day, I didn't even know this was an option. Collecting all the socks grants you with a charming little cutscene of the socks going into the washing machine. Cute, but I do wish you got a little more for obtaining all 20 of them.
Alright, I found all my socks! Mom's gonna be so proud of me. I told Mom I'd pick up my socks.
Sam, more determined than ever, is finally ready to face darkness. Obviously, he has to unlock him from his own closet first? A little weird, but I'll buy it. First, we have to go through all these keys to find the correct one. I'm just kidding. The key is on a hook in the cupboard, because of course it is. Once unlocked, Sam battles darkness for the fate of the world. Or rather, Sam faces his fears.
Watch out, darkness. Here comes Pajama Sam. Darkness? It is I, Pajama Sam. I've come to vanquish you.
Vanquish? Is that fun?
I'm gonna capture you and lock you in my signature edition all-metal Pajama Man lunchbox.
Oh dear, that doesn't sound like fun at all. Why would you want to put me in a box?
So I won't have to be scared of you anymore?
You're scared. I'm the one who's going to be stuck in the box. Oh dear, no one ever wants to come over and play fun games with me.
You like to play games?
Yes, but I never have anyone to play with. At night, when I come out, everybody's asleep.
You mean you don't have any friends?
Well, no.
I like to play games.
Really? Do you like to play cheese and crackers?
Do I? I played it with a toaster in the park. It's great.
Oh, good. We just need some crackers and some tasty cheese.
And like that, Sam finally confronted his fear of the dark to find out that there was nothing to fear all along, and even made new friends along the way. I always loved this ending as a kid, and revisiting this game as an adult not only brought back loads of nostalgia, but gave me a new appreciation for the small details, the replayability, and the humor that I missed as a kid. Pajama Sam is one of my favorite games of all time, be it for the nostalgia factor and how charming the game is. I definitely recommend checking this one out on Steam, or even buying a physical copy. As a lot of you know, I always prefer physical copies of games for collecting, but nowadays it's pretty rare to have a PC that plays discs, especially having an operating system that is built for old 90s PC games. Nevertheless, I definitely recommend checking out Pajama Sam in There's No Need to Hide When It's Dark Outside. Special thanks to Agent Wombat for helping with the music and the script for this video, and Deku Trent for making the killer thumbnail. They're both extremely talented at what they do, and provide even more motivation for me to make these types of videos. Now I'm gonna go catch some rest, and maybe have an encounter with darkness while I'm at it.